electric, Mahindra electric. You know, they've been around for a while. E20, Verito, 400, XUV400. A lot of O's in there, isn't it? This is an urban car designed for people who like the environment and people who drive in the city, and sometimes out of it. A car that's supposed to give us a taste of everything Mahindra's learned with a rather successful Formula E career. A car that's designed to look good with all these copper bits while still looking normal, not too out of place. But that was just a taste, that little spoon that you get to try out before you order the scoop. This is the scoop. Well, this is the whole gelato shop. We drove it a while ago on a track and it impressed us. It gets a 39.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack, it gets 456 kilometers of range, it gets a 150 horsepower motor, and it gets 310 Newton meters of torque. And 10,000 people booked one when they announced pricing. And if you really like your numbers and you like playing top trumps, 0 to 100, well, that's just 8.3 seconds. It is comfortable too. It's got 5 seats, cup holders to take my cola, and other things. You know, a boot that can carry a horse's head, for example. And it's longer. Because this being an EV, Mahindra doesn't have to worry about that stupid sub 4 meter rule. And that means it looks better than its petrol powered cousin. I guess that SsangYong takeover finally worked out. Apart from these interiors that are straight out of a history book, I really can't find much fault in this at all. All in all, it's a sensible, practical, well priced, good range, spacious, yada yada yada. You know what I mean? It's basically a good car and a great EV. But you knew all of that. You clicked on this video because it said, is this Mahindra enough? So what did we mean? Mahindra does things with a bit of flair. Normally it's with the design bits and sometimes they overdo it, but usually though, it's with the PowerDrift. Now, diesel, petrol engines, they're always performance tuned, performance oriented. For them, performance matters more than fuel economy. And that's great because that means a lot of their vehicles can climb up that and get off this. In fact, even the two-wheel drive stuff, right, like this, or the XUV300 on which this is based, there is always some toughness, there's always some performance in the communication of the car. And if you haven't realized what I'm doing with this yet, well, I'm going to take this up that. Because it's a Mahindra and it should. As simple as that.
Let's go out for a hug.
Off-road is Mahindra's DNA, to the point where I remember talking to someone senior at Mahindra and remember them telling me that there will never come a time when Mahindra does not make a 4-wheel drive vehicle. But can this front-wheel drive electric hold a candle? Okay, so the one good thing about the XUV400 is the fact that it gets 180 mm of ground clearance, which is substantial for most cars, especially SUVs, and they're supposed to do these SUV kind of things, right, with that sort of ground clearance. The good thing though is, despite the flaw containing the battery pack, it's right below where you sit, and of course that means that you do get a little bit less sort of floor space here. You do have your feet slightly above what the XUV300 does, it is still very well protected. So even if on a trail like this I decide to go a little banzai and have stones and chips and stuff hit the bottom of the car, it is still going to be protected, because it's going to take a lot more than some rocks bouncing off the tires of this thing to puncture that battery pack. Not that you should go and try puncturing any battery pack, doing anything stupid, but nonetheless, it is well protected. The 3 driving modes make a huge difference to the way this thing drives, to the point where I am now in fearless. And trust me, this isn't me just paying attention, but this is genuine glimpses of fear on my face. Why, you ask? Well, the XUV400 doesn't come with traction control. If you have 310 Newton meters of torque constantly under your right foot coming in immediately when you touch that throttle pedal all at once, you need traction control. It squeals massively on the road, puts down 11s on the road, like proper, nice, big tire marks. But on this sort of surface, on like a stage surface, gravel, broken tarmac, this, by the way, is my favorite surface to drive on. And even I am feeling a little overwhelmed by this, because as much as I, in my head, think I am a Mr. God of Gill, I am not. Normally this would be fun, but this is making me break out a sweat. Ooh, that's a little too quick. But again, protected, so I don't have to much worry about it. You know what? I think I'm just gonna slow down for a second, take in the view, and then go flat out again. You saw that? Completely understeered. This thing requires some skill, some real skill to drive hard.
Going off like we got nothing to lose. Gonna take all you got, yeah, you know that this is true. Going hard, never make any excuse. Yeah, you know what I want and I'm taking it from you. Going off like we got nothing to lose.
Now that, you know, if I had a smartwatch on, it would probably be dialing emergency services, because my heart rate is off the charts. When I set out in the morning with this to do this, I did not expect that to be a buckling Bronco. If there was ever a car that was a handful as a surprise, I mean, we've already said that this thing needs traction control right on the road, because it just squeals through its tires, and those tires are gonna be needing changing very soon if you have a bit of a heavy foot. But on dirt, I probably don't have the level of skill one needs to drive this car as fast as it could be, and it could be really fast. God of Gill, you need to be here, man, instead of me doing this, because I don't have the balls, the guts, and the skill to go up this route, this sort of pseudo rally stage flat out. But does this answer our question? Does this answer the question I set out to answer? Is this Mahindra enough? Is this Mahindra enough? I mean, it's brought me here, hasn't it? To the top of wherever we are, highest peak in the area. I mean, if this isn't good enough for you, if you still think this is some pseudo urban electric hatchback on stilts, you've got it wrong, my friend. So wrong.
Going off like we got nothing to lose. Gonna take all you got, yeah, you know that this is true.